Hello, hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So we're finally coming to the tail end of the Crocad fusion, and it is time to, of course, pull some shards because the portal is alight with the lovely purple hue. Now, I did purposefully wait until Sunday because I wanted the 10x to end. Obviously, Neve, something of Nyresia, is a very, very strong champion, especially in a 6-piece, 9-piece protection set. We've seen, or I've seen her used to some success, various amounts of success in that regard. But my highly desired void legendaries are just not her at the moment, and so I'd rather have a chance to maximize my chance of getting one of them relative to getting her. So that is why we had that little bit of a delay, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. So the purpose for today is, of course, to get the last bit of fragments from for the fusion, the Crocad, the Throat Ripper fusion. So if we hop into the champion chase itself, we can see that there are 15 fragments up for grabs. Currently I'm at 95, so technically all I need to do is get the 5 here, and then I could stop. However, my plan is to, of course, overcap it. I didn't actually post a video last week for the summon rush because I did it entirely with mystery shards. Maybe in the future, let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see that, but I could do just like a no camera recording of how long it takes to open thousands of mystery shards. It wasn't that bad. I think it was within an hour or so to do the 3500. I think I went for the immortal soulstone in that summon rush, but yeah, let me know if you want to see that in the future. But in this case, since we have yet to pull any shards at all for this fusion aside from mystery shards, I don't mind going all the way out to 3000, overcapping the fragments and getting to 110. That way I can use the excess of 10 to get some credit towards a High Mother Maud, who I think I'm at like 20 something, 30 something fragments, so I'm still miles and miles away, but we're chipping away at it slowly, and maybe in 4 years we'll finally get her. But yeah, beyond that though, because there's a legendary tome up for grabs, we're gonna target 4100 points with our void charge today. Popping over to the portal itself, let's take a look at the overall shard count on my account at the moment. We have 614 on the ancients, 271 on the voids, which of course we'll be dipping into today, 47 on the primals, and then 44 on the sacreds. In terms of mercy, we're basically sitting kind of in the middle of nowhere here on the void shards, at least. So we're at 96 pulled, 104 until we enter mercy, so we're just in the middle. So we are just pulling and hoping for something magical to happen, but there's absolutely no guarantee that anything will happen. So if we do get a void legendary, of course it resets mercy. If we don't, great, we're getting closer to mercy, which is not the worst thing in the world, and that could allow me or put me in a position where I can target one of my most wanted void legendaries at the moment. And if you do want to use this particular spreadsheet to manually track your mercy, it will be linked in the description box down below. Now, in terms of who we're looking for when it comes to void shards, I am in the market for some epics specifically for empowerment. So Inquisitor Shamael, he's still at base level, he's not even empowered at all. And then Basher as well. I think he's maybe +1 at the moment, so I just want him to have more stats, more survivability. I still do use Basher as a lockout as opposed to Fabian. I use Fabian more, obviously, but I still use Basher. And then I'm actually looking for Whisper copies. One, because I do want to empower mine eventually to +4, but also I want to build a double Whisper team for the Phantom Shogo's Grove, because I just think it's a little bit more fun than using Marius and Newt in all areas of the game. When it comes to void legendaries, I have reworked my list in terms of who I wanted. Marius kind of took the wind out of my sails relative to wanting for or hoping for Grisor Iron Gut, so he's been dropped off the list. I would still take him, of course, but he's dropped off the #1 spot. So now #1 is Queen of Hearts. In my case, she would be really helpful as kind of a threat to all of the speed teams that you encounter, the speed buff teams more importantly than you encounter. She can kind of jump in there, strip some buffs, play some True Fear, and the Death Brand has a potential to place block revive when otherwise it might not have happened. And it's just a nice counter threat to the speed buff meta that's going on right now. And #2 would be Marichka, because she is the easiest way to counter one of the speed bomb or speed burn type compositions, and so that would just be helpful as a little bit of a deterrent in case against that team, because right now I kind of don't have a response. If they're faster than me and they have like an R base and a Nishak, I kind of just die to the bombs. And then #3 is Sulfurion. I do have a Gizmak on my account, but more HP burn explosion champions would just be obviously useful and helpful, because we can do a lot more damage, or have a lot more I could have a lot more flexibility when going into Stone Skin teams. So that is my new top 3 for void legendaries. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the shard pulls here. We've got tons of space, we got a decent amount of cash, and hopefully we get some decent luck here. Again, mostly focusing on the epics. We're not going to be pulling that many voids. Obviously, I'm going to be tracking our champion chase points here. We're starting basically at 0. The goal is 4100, so it's probably going to take 30 to 40 voids, so nothing crazy should happen, but you never know, of course. But nonetheless, I'm rambling here, so let's dive right in with the first 10 pop here. So epics is what we want to see. Large strings of epics are going to be great in terms of points in the champion chase. Eurogrim will take it. Great Poisoner, that's going to be empowerment for him. Can we get 2 epics in the 10 pop? No, the 2x is not on, apparently. 800 points, we'll take it. Decent start, but ideally we want to see 2 epics per. That would be, you know, right on the 2x rate, but we'll take it starting off with 800. Gear Grinder, honorable mention. He's basically the only accessible reviver in Ogren tribes, and he's really squishy, surprisingly, at least in Faction Wars hard mode, but nonetheless, kind of your only option. So having him is good. So 10 pop. Number 2, we definitely want to see some epics. There we go, another one. Skrank, awesome, back to back. Ooh, Wishlist Vinegard, that's one of the newer ones. I think she was a fusion champion, so that's probably a first copy of her. 4 epics, 5 epics, another Skrank, that's crazy. There we go, 2,000 points. That is the power of Void epics. Obviously, Void Rays are still decent. They're 50 points a pop, so those kind of add up as well. But this is what we want to see. The 2x is on now. But yeah, Skrank, great Void Affinity, HP burn, placing champion AoE. Also does a decent amount of damage. Akemtum, really strong with his Hex passive, poisons on the A1, and then his passive allows him to basically auto attack, so to speak, when it comes to enemies who have poisons on them. He spreads the poison damage effectively across them, but he also gets credit for War Master, Toxic Set, Stun Set, and all that stuff. So he's really, really underrated champion who's really powerful in a lot of areas. And then Cardinal, everyone's favorite cheese comp in terms of Reviver. Of course, you put her in Stone Skin, high resistance, super slow. I guess you don't necessarily need her quickly, but everyone else dies. You revive your whole team, boost the return meter to max, and then you can kind of destroy them from there. And then Wistery, I actually don't remember what she does. So let's see here. Increase attack, increase crit damage on herself, extra turn. Okay, so she's self-buffing. I guess she's attack based. She's a nuker. Got it. And she'll single target, ignore increased defense, strengthen, as well as defense. Okay, single target nuke, and then a single target. Not too impressed. Increases her attack for each enemy that's low health. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what her multipliers are. Haven't heard anything crazy about her, so I'm going to anticipate that she's probably not going to make that much of a splash relative to my Endgame account. So 2,400 points in the champion chase. That was a big swing from the first 10 pop. So that is exactly what we want to see. Just a decent amount of epics. Ooh, did we use up all of our luck on the last 10? Maybe so. Could this be the dreaded all blues from the Void Shards? It's looking like it. So 500 points there. Darn. But it's okay. That's fine. We're at 2,900 into the champion chase. So we're still 75% of the way there. So a couple of epics basically should get us there. So there's 30 voids down. This will be 40 voids. So again, we want to see a little bit of a turnaround here. We want to see some epics, at least one, hopefully not another set of all rares. You hate to see it. Okay, there we go. We got epic mercy there. We're spared, but this is going to be another 800. And Gnome Yellow Hand, I don't actually know what this guy does either. Oh, this is good. Okay, this is the Skinwalker who was also part of a fusion, and this is the AoE stun guy. 75% chance of placing a stun. This is great. I have Ragash on my account, and he is, pretty much the same thing, if not better. No, he is better, of course. He's legendary. But a 3-turn cooldown AoE stun. But this is a 3-turn cooldown Void Affinity AoE stun, but it's a 75% chance. But running them together doesn't sound like a bad deal. So that is actually good. I might build him up for the purpose of running him in hard mode Faction Wars. And he also has increased speed and a continuous heal as well, and a 3-turn cooldown. So yeah, leech and heal reduction too. Sweet. I like this guy. I liked him when he was part of the fusion that he was a part of. I don't remember which one, but this is great for me. He will be definitely used. So 800 points, we are at 2,900. So now we are at 3,700. So the smart thing to do would be to pull one by one and just, hope that we get one epic, or stop when we get one epic, but I'm lazy. So, and I have a lot of voids. So we're going to go out there, 50 voids in total for this one. But this is going to end it probably no matter what, because I think, well, okay, there we go. One epic, that's all we needed. So Godseeker and Neri is going to close things out here. I honestly, I think Godseeker Neri is a little bit overrated. Maybe that's a hot take, but I think she's great for, the Sand Devil cheese comps. But outside of that, I don't really use her at all outside of Faction Wars, which is kind of a shame. But nonetheless, she is one of the many champions in the game who can extend buffs, and her revive is unique and somewhat useful. And so she's a good champion, but I don't think she's like one of the best epics in the game. But yeah, that should have done it. So we should be at 4,000 plus. I believe in terms of, completing the fusion, 3,000 points. I think we only pulled 30. The 30-ish voids might have been roughly around what we needed. But the 50 voids in total is what we needed to actually close it out to get the legendary tome there at the 4,100 points. So we'll call it there. And so yeah, that does complete the fusion for me on my account. A little bit of an overshoot, but nothing crazy there. We didn't even need to do it. Darn, that's a shame. I wasted 10 voids. Feels bad, man. Guess my math was a little bit off. I didn't account for something, I guess, but we didn't have to, because the last 10 pop was 800, so we could have just been done. Should have checked. Oh well, it's fine. The good news here, though, is that because we pulled 50 voids, we are that much closer to hitting Mercy. So 54 voids until we enter Mercy, and then 20 beyond that to guarantee ourselves a Legendary Champion, meaning that we are in a position where it could make sense to target one of my more wanted or most wanted Void Legendaries. 70 voids-ish would guarantee us a Legendary, and during a good progressive chance event for, let's say, Queen of Hearts or Marichka, there's a decent odds that we would get one of them. I think it's maybe 1 in 5 at this point, so it's not guaranteed, of course, but 1 in 5 is the best odds in terms of getting a Void Legendary versus just rolling the dice on any Void Legendary in the entirety of the pool. So a little bit of relatively bad RNG here could pay off potentially in the future, and that definitely paid off with, I guess, 2 Void Legendaries ago with Siphi the Lost Bride that got her during her progressive chance event. So yeah, with that, the Crocad fusion is officially complete with a little bit of overshoot. Again, I'm saving the excess to convert into Mild Fragments. You can see there we're at 31 out of 100, so this will give me maybe it'll give me close to another set of 10. I don't think it's going to get me all the way there, but it'll be close. It's progress, and that's all I can do because I do every fusion, and so I don't have full fusions that I'm willing to sacrifice entirely for the sake of getting High Mother Maud. I will be saving his summon for some future champion chase, ideally 2x Sacreds, but I think in the rotation, well, we might be due for 2x Primals, honestly, coming up soon, but ideally 2x Sacreds, just because, saving Sacreds is the best utility in terms of champion chases. Saving it during, 2x Ancients, that's the most abundant shard type in the game outside of Mystery, and so it just doesn't feel as useful during those, but I digress here. But yeah, I will be saving him for now. I'm definitely curious to try him out with Packmaster in Faction Wars, as well as potentially in like my hard Hydra team. I'll have to see and test to see if that's a viable upgrade, and believe it or not, Packmaster himself is actually somewhere. Yeah, he's down here, so I haven't summoned him either, but I will summon them both together in some sort of future champion chase and use them for something, potentially Hydra and or hard mode Faction Wars. But yeah, that is going to do it for this shard pulling session. Let me know in the comment section down below, did you pull your shards for this champion chase, and what did you happen to get from your shards? Did you get a decent string of epics, or did you get a Void Legendary? Let me know what you got in the comment section down below. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below because it does help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well, if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on this channel, for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.